Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review of this e-spinner, which is an unbranded, nameless e-spinner from Amazon. I will get it out and spin on it and talk about how it feels to spin on and how it works. But before I do that, I'm just going to have a go over it with you online so we can see the listings that these wheels are listed at under Amazon, and talk a little bit about how they are a complete rip-off of another company's designs. So I have seen people defend this on Facebook and say, oh, all e-spinners are the same, they've all got a flower and a bobbin, there's only so many different ways you can do it, it's just a coincidence, etc. It is not. I have got this picture here, let's get rid of the first one, of loads of different e-spinners. These are all the e-spinners that I could find online that are readily available, and you can see even the two at the bottom that both have transparent bobbins and look superficially the same. Even if you look at those two closely, you can see they're different. The one on the right has a direct motor drive, the one on the left has a pulley, and there's different, some parts are wood, some are aluminium, one of them's got a straight front of the fly, one of them's got curved, etc. And all the other ones, they all look completely different. Yeah, sure, they all have a flyer, they all have some sort of body, they all have a motor, they all have a bobbin, but they all look different. And all of these e-spinners have been independently designed by their makers. They've not just gone out and stolen someone else's design. So that excuse just doesn't fly with me. Oh, it's just accidental that it looks exactly the same as another maker's e-spinner. No. These are copies, and they are terrible copies. So let's get rid of this picture and let's go to Amazon so we can see what you find when you search for electric spinning wheel on Amazon. So there's loads, but we'll start at the top. These first two are the same, so I'm going to click on the yellow one purely because it's a little bit easier to see features in a lighter colour. They are the same thing, they are very similar price, they claim similar description. So here we go, here's the yellow one. Now this one is a rip-off of the Daedalus Sparrow. I will come back over here and add a picture of the sparrow so you can see. So you can see they have very, very similar shapes, similar features. You can't actually see the tension control in the sparrow picture, but the tension control in this rip-off copies the Daedalus tension system. I've not seen any other e-spinner that has the square block with the screw thread that lets you adjust the tension. This has the same shape front and back to the body of the spinner. It has the same little independent rear bearing on the back. It has the same carbon fibre rods. This is a copy. Let's take that picture away and we'll just have a quick look at some of the other pictures in the listing. So make that bigger. So this is the e-spinner, and again it has it's even copied the magnet position from the orifice hook. It's a terrible copy. You can see the flyer arms are not parallel, they're not straight, and there's a big gap between the end of the flyer arm and the bobbin, so that probably doesn't fill evenly. And the controls a little bit different. The Sparrow has a separate control box, this has the speed dial built in, but still it's an obvious rip-off. Right, that tells you what an e-spinner is. Here's another picture of one in a different colour. You can see a little bit better the copied shape of the flyer and the front. This picture is especially fun because these are pictures of a completely different e-spinner. It's not the Daedalus that it's copied, it's not this copy, this is an electric eel wheel nano. Some more pictures of it here, and another one. So even these pictures in the listing are different. This one's got the little flower yarn parking spot. This one's got what just looks like a drawing pin. Oh, and the final picture, none of these are of that wheel. Top left is the electric eel wheel nano again. Top right is nano bobbin. bobbins. Bottom left, I think that's the electric eel wheel 6.1 bobbins. Bottom right is the 6.1. Middle is another one of these copied Espinners of a different model that we'll get onto you later, but they've copied the bobbin design from Dreaming Robot, so that one's like a double copy. We'll go back to the first page and the next one. This is a slightly different shape, and this one is a copy of the Daedalus Starling. So again, I'll make this big there so you can see it nicely, and I will put a picture of the starling up there. So you can see this has got the, for some reason they don't want to show you the front of the Espinner, they're only showing you it from the back, but you can see it's got the same taller, thinner shape, the same shape cutouts, again the same carbon fibre rods. You can't see the tension because it's hidden on the other side, but they've copied the same tension system as before. Slightly different yarn guides, and again it's not got the separate control box, the controls are built in, but still a copy, an obvious copy. I don't know if this one has anything particularly exciting in its pictures. I think there are just lots of pictures of the Espinner from the back where you can't actually see the orifice or the front. Yes, just lots of Photoshop. So again, rip-off number 2. Now here we have more of the same. So that's a sparrow rip-off, that's a sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow. These are all exactly the same. They're just under slightly different made-up names. Fake sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow, fake sparrow. And here we are, here's a different one. And this is the one that I've very kindly been lent to try out. So this one is a rip-off of the Magpie design. And the Magpie looks like this. So you can see it's got the same shape at the front, it's even got this little cutout for you to hold it with, the same cradle at the top, the oval shaped control panel, the same carbon fibre rods for part of the body and for the flyer arms, and the back is the same as well. Again, just a copy of this design. It's actually a lot smaller, so when I go next door and do the proper review, I'll show you both of them next to each other, and you'll see the difference in scale is quite a lot. But on the surface of things, they've copied this machine and just made it crap. So let's go back and have a look at this listing. So we have another picture here from a different angle. Yes, lots of useful information and a nice typo there. We have another picture of the switch and the voltage. Another picture, 2 pictures. The top picture is from another Espinner, I'm not sure what it is. The bottom picture is from an electric eel wheel nano, completely different Espinner. And here we are again, the electric eel wheel nano Espinner pictures. And finally, top picture is the Starling rip-off. The next picture, I'm not sure, that looks like probably the Starling rip-off again. Next one, I think, is the Sparrow rip-off. And the final one, you can tell from all these wheels at the back, that's not an Espinner, that is a double drive regular spinning wheel. So they've just got loads of pictures and kind of thrown them in, not caring whether they're at all relevant to what they're selling. So let's go through the listing. So we've got an electric spinning wheel with digital display and foot switch, a mini wool spinning wheel with 8 ounces capacity, forward and reverse switching, stepless speed, 3 spools, black. Now the particular one I'm testing only has 2 spools because one of them arrived broken. So what else? It uses all these materials and spins single strand, multi-strand and wool yarn through mechanical transmission and rotation. Yep, well that's what Espinners do. It adopts modular design, eliminating cumbersome installation. It consists of a main frame, a control box and an additional foot switch which supports the use of 2 spools at the same time, making your winding work more efficient. That is complete nonsense. You do not use 2 spools at the same time and you're not doing winding work. The upgraded yarn ball winder, not a yarn ball winder, comes with a detachable box and a 1 meter control box extension cord. This yellow thingy box in the middle, yeah, it does come out. So that's its detachable box. The stepless speed knob, you can turn it quickly or slowly to get to a maximum of 800 RPM. The first gear, 1 you would expect, is for Z-twist single strand. The second gear, I would expect that to be number 2, is for S-twist plied strand, so it can better meet my various spinning needs. And then there's a load more nonsense that doesn't actually make much sense. So, right, can't see the spec here, let's just scoot you over. So, lots and lots of typos, a removable control box, a Roal time speed display, and Stiopless speed regulation. Yeah, blah blah blah. The hole diameter is 14mm with a 6mm shrinkage hole. So I'm assuming that means it's got a 14mm orifice with a 6mm orifice reducer, and its max speed is 800 RPM, and it's this size here. We've got a couple of reviews here. The first one says it's very unbalanced. The flower arms are too short, so you can't fill the brake band end of the bobbin. No option for extra bobbins, and poor instructions. The next review says, this wasn't brought to the house but thrown in the street. Well, we can't blame them for that. We blame Amazon for that. It did not work when I got it. The brake was not attached. I wrote to the seller who chose not to answer me. The documentation is a joke. It sounds terrible. I'm not quite sure why this is a 4-star review, but we'll keep going. I took the machine to my spinning group, where longtime spinner and e-spinner took the machine apart and attached the brake. Then the machine worked great. This took 2 different meetings. It's great now it is working. It is equal to e-spinners costing much more. I have spun a large amount of roving and it does well. I have plied a piece of roving. The yarn threader does not work. I use one from my standard wheel. If you get a no-bugged spinner or have someone who can fix it, you are getting a quiet, great spinner. I am now very happy with the unit. I do wish there were lazy Kates available. I made one. I am experienced and I'm 83 years old. So, personally, if I bought something that was terrible, that needed me to go to 2 guild meetings to get somebody else to fix it, that didn't have instructions, and I did not get a response when I tried to get support, I would not give it 4 out of 5 stars. But alright, once you got it fixed, then this person was happy with it and thinks it's fine. So, that's, I think, all I've got to talk about the listing side of things. Let's, through the magic of editing, jump next door and look at the actual machine. Hi, so I'm back with this e-spinner and the Magpie, so you can see the immense difference in size. So they are a similar shape. This one is copied the shape of this one, but they are just so completely different scale. The Magpie is absolutely enormous, and this one is, well, less than half the size probably, and half the bobbin capacity. I'm not sure if you can really see, but when I was saying, yeah, it's exactly the same, it's a copy, what I meant was aesthetically they have copied the design. It's not the same in terms of quality or functionality. The example, the motor here, on the Magpie it just pops off, so you can turn it around and use it in Irish tension or Scotch tension mode. This one, it looks like it just pops off, but it's actually got these little extra bits here that hold it in place. So I could take it off and I could turn it around, but then I wouldn't be able to use it in Irish tension mode because it's not got the brake band that's the right size. It's not got a drive band that's the right size, and it's not got an attachment point for the brake band at the front. So to have that movable motor is just completely pointless functionality, and I really don't think you'll be able to see it on the camera, but the printing quality just is not great. It's and you can see it's a lot shinier. I'm assuming this is PLA and the Daedalus is ABS, but I don't actually know what this is made out of. But maybe you can see as the light catches it, it's like a resolution issue. If you export a perfect cylinder,
you can have it at a high resolution so it looks like a cylinder. You can have it at a really low resolution so it looks more like an octagon. This is sort of somewhere in between, so none of these surfaces are smooth. They're all kind of slightly steppy, and the bobbin, you can, that end, the end here that was on the print bed, that actually doesn't look too bad. There's a couple of little flaws, but the end that was on top, it just looks all rough and horrible. I may have to show you on the other bobbin when I get that out. So yeah, I mean, the quality of the printing, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's not great, and the quality of the components is definitely subpar. I'll move the Magpie out of the way because it is rather enormous. And if I bring this one in, it's just little things like this bobbin. It rattles on the shaft, so there's pretty much no point in having bearings in the bobbin to make it run more smoothly, because if the middle of the bearing isn't gripped to the flyer shaft and the outside isn't gripped to the bobbin, it's just going to turn without actually using any of the bearing functionality. So this wobbliness means that it doesn't turn smoothly. The Daedalus has little magnets in here that pull the bobbin to the front of the flyer and stick it there. This one doesn't, so again it can wobble backwards and forwards. And I don't know if you remember from well, you probably will remember because it was about 30 seconds for you. For me, it was yesterday. When we looked at the reviews, it said this doesn't fill the bobbin to the far end. And this is why the bobbin can move backwards and forwards so much that there it would almost fill it if it's pushed forward. But once the bobbin's slipped back, you've got like a finger-sized gap here between the end of the flyer arm and the flat part of the bobbin. And that's going to be exacerbated by this brake band pulling it back. If I push it forwards, then you can see this brake band is slightly slanted forwards. This is always going to tend to pull it towards the back of the machine. So it does come with a little hex key, so I can undo this and move it forward, and I think that might help a little bit. And with this bobbin rattling, I could maybe pad out the flyer and see if that helped with the rattliness and made it run more smoothly. And I was fortunate that this one, the brake band, was attached, unlike the one in the review, so at least I don't have to mess with that. So I will grab my battery, grab some fibre and return. Okay, I'm back with battery, fibre, foot pedal and a sheet of operating instructions. So I'm going to go through the instructions before I get started. The spinning wheel you received has been debugged and does not require installation. Fantastic. Please check the brown elastic rope and hang it correctly on the hooks on both sides of the machine body and grooves of the spool. Okay, well, for starters, there is no brown elastic rope. There is no elastic rope of any colour. There is this inelastic brake band. So I'm assuming what that means is please make sure this brake band is attached to this point here and this point here. Fantastic. Yes, it is. Thin wires are hung on the small loop and thick wires above 8 to 4, oh no, that's just bad printing, above 3 to 4 millimeters are hung on the large loop. To ensure that the machine is not bumped during transportation, the hook of the hanging rope may be folded and displaced. Just fine-tune it to the correct position. I actually have no idea what that means. Thin wires hung on the small loop and thick wires hung on the large. There are no different small or large loop for thick. Let's just ignore that. Please check to make sure the switch and the speed knob are in the initial position before plugging in the power supply. So my speed knob needs to be down, my switch is in neutral. Excellent. Use tape to fix the lead wire in the middle of the spool. Pass it through the 2 hooks on the flywheel and use a threader to pass it through the wire hole, leaving a length of 10 to 18 centimeters. Well, I'm not tying my lead one with tape, and I've actually already spun a little bit, so I don't need to do that. It says use a threader to pass it through the wire hole, an orifice. So yes, I need to use an orifice threader. This did not come with an orifice threader. As I said, someone lent me this. I didn't buy it myself, so it's possible it came with an orifice threader and she just didn't include it. But I think it's more likely it didn't come with one. Right, so to spin, I need to turn the switch to the first gear, and for plying and twisting, I need to turn the switch to the second gear. Now, as we read in the review, in the spec yesterday, gear 1 is Z for spinning, gear 2 is S for plying. So I'm going to hold on to this so I don't have to rethread it and get it started. So that should be 1, Z. Oh, hang on, I haven't turned my battery on. Oh no, disaster! I shall return with a battery that is not dead. Okay, so I'm back with a working power bank. So if it's turned all the way down, put it into Z, start it. Oh, look at that, it's not spinning Z. So straight away, the switch has been connected backwards, so I have to remember to put it in 2 to spin Z, which is fine, just annoying and contrary to what the instructions say. So it turns, it takes up, it does what an e-spinner should. It's a little bit shuffly noises, but well, we're only going at a slow speed. Let me, my take up is far too high. Let me adjust that a little bit. Oh, I don't know if you could see that there, but even at this very low speed, the tiny difference in tension changed the pitch of the motor. So that's no take up. And it very, very quickly slows under load. The spring is barely stretched, but this thing is struggling. But it's at low speed, so let's not be too hasty. I will attach some fibre and just draft some of this excess twist I've built up out. Right, okay, so let's get going. Turn up the speed a bit. Ooh. That is wobbling like crazy, but I mean, it's spinning, it's taken up, it's a little bit scary, but it's going. I'm not sure I want to turn it up more, but I will do it for you guys. Right, let's get down to a bit thinner so I can have some more speed. Oh my god. Let's check my guides are opposite each other, right? They're not. So let's put my yarn guide symmetrically. So this is as balanced as the fly is going to get. And annoyingly, this the line on this dial, when it's off, is past the bottom. So it looks like it's turned up to maximum and it's really confusing. Alright, so that's not walking, but it is, well no, it is still walking a little bit. It's not hurling itself off the table, but it is loud and vibratey and a little bit scary. And it throws yarn like crazy. It's thrown all of this because I was spinning at a low tension, which I would expect a little bit of throwing yarn when I have a full bobbin and I'm spinning at high speed, but the problem here is I think it doesn't have a soft stop. So when I tell it to stop, it just immediately stops and the bobbin carries on going. Now, yesterday when we looked at the spec, it said the top speed was 800 RPM. It's not. I put this little sticky thing on it so I could measure it, and the top speed is actually 1400 RPM, which explains somewhat some of the scariness, but I would not want to use it at 100%. See, and 100% is the thingy is actually now at 3 o'clock on the dial, so the dial's just been installed a little bit offset. Yeah, I would not be comfortable, aside from the noise, just the vibration and the motion, that's uncool. So let's put it at a more sedate speed. I mean, even at 37%, that is noisier than I'd like, but it's not terrifying. So let's spin this a little bit. Okay, I'll stop it again. Oh, and yeah, see, that's no soft stop, so even at a really low speed, it still unspooled a good few inches of yarn. Let's have a look at this bobbin loading. See, I mean, it's not bad. It's made a little lump here, but some of this lump is from the end of the bobbin underneath, so it's not like it's been piling up much yarn there. It's still not filling right to the end, but let's see if we can sort that out a little bit. I have a hex key that came with it here, so I don't know if I can fit this in. I may have to do this not in front of the camera because this is a fiddly thing. Right. And we are back. I'm not sure if you can see that much difference. What I've done is I've moved this breakband holder a little bit closer to the front of the machine, meaning that the bobbin hopefully is going to be pulled into this position. Unfortunately though, there is no adjustment for the band on the other side, so that may still tend to pull it towards the back and may mean that this side rubs. So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully that'll at least partly fix the bad filling issue though. So let's see. No, wrong connector. Right. I think I'll spin a little bit thicker just to get it done more quickly. Right, so I want to go the wrong way. Oh, okay, that was my fault. Battery appeared not to be working, but it actually was. Right, so let's spin slightly thicker. Oh, no, what's going on? Maybe that wasn't the battery, maybe that's a loose connection in the thingies. I'm not sure. I'm just getting some yarn on there. That does look to be filling a little bit better. Turn it down and see. Well, yeah, it's. I don't know if I can get this lined up. It's still not going to fill right to the far end of the bobbin because the way the breakband attaches at this side, the far side, we can't move it forwards any. So this bobbin's always going to jump backwards and forwards. We could try putting a little bit of tape on the flyer shaft and wedging the bobbin into place more, but for what I'm doing at the moment, I'm not going to bother messing around like that. So yeah, it works. It's somewhat terrifying. Let's see what other sorts of yarns we can do on it. Yes, orifice size. So the listing claimed it had a 14mm orifice, I think, with a 6mm reducer. It does not. I measured this, it's about 9.5mm, and the same as this and the one in the yarn guide. So if you are wanting to do bulky yarns on it, you won't be able to. I'm going to go and grab a core yarn though, and do a little bit of core spun and see how it copes with something a bit thicker. So I'm back with some horrible core yarn. It's disgusting colours, but it's plied and it's textured. It's not as fine as I'd ideally like, not as thick as I would ideally like, but for just a teeny bit of a go. Let's see. So again, I'm going that direction. Alright, so it's taken up, that's probably about an Aran weight thickness. Let's turn it down and put a lot more chunky, lumpy bits on. Okay, it doesn't want to take those up. That's somewhat of a balancing act between getting your tension right and your twist level. So that's fairly high tension now. Hopefully it should just suck this in. Okay, so it copes, but the motor is very sensitive to tension changes, so it will definitely require tweaking and playing around to up the speed once you've upped the tension to get the same level of twist going in. But we're filling mostly to the end of the bobbin. That wrap there I think may have slid in, but my bobbin hasn't yet pushed itself the wrong direction, so it's working okay. The main issue with these spinners, aside from the copyright issues, is that just you never know if the one you're getting is going to work. Like there was the review we read that it took her 2 guild meetings to get someone else to fix it. There was there's another review on YouTube that also the e-spinner came with the tension completely not working. I've seen other problems from other people, varying from minor that you can tweak yourself at home to it arriving completely broken. The instruction sheet, this is all you get, and it's mostly nonsense, and talking about the brown elastic cord that is not a thing, and it tries to teach you how to spin, which is fine, but it's in broken English. The pictures are absolutely terrible, and so it's just oh, and they're actually not even pictures of this e-spinner. I can see in that one, the curve of the fly, that's the Sparrow knockoff. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily expect an instruction manual to teach you how to spin, but this one tries and it does it badly. So, I will put that one away and show you the bobbins that it comes with. So what I was talking about before, about the print quality just not being that great. It's really hard to show on camera, but there's like little blobby bits here, and there's a bit of stringing there, and it's just rough. It's not got any attention to detail. It's just not well made. It's perhaps not the worst e-spinner in the entire world. I was going to say it's not the worst e-spinner I've used, but it is. It is the worst e-spinner I've used. My first e-spinner I had was a Peacock from, I think, the 90s. And it was very loud. It used a sewing machine motor, but it was smooth, and it didn't wobble, it didn't rattle. It was nowhere near as good as my modern wheels, but it did what it was supposed to do. This does what it's supposed to do. This particular one, we were lucky. It turns fibre into yarn and loads it onto the bobbin. I am not going to be spinning a full bobbin on this, it's too noisy. I suspect that given what we've seen of it slowing under tension, even with an empty bobbin, I'm sure that with a full bobbin it will slow more, and we'll have to keep upping the speed to get upping the speed here to get the same speed at the flyer, which isn't the end of the world. Lots of e-spinners you have to do that. It's just how much will you have to do that with this one. I will also do a quick sound comparison. I brought my Dove in, so I will get that. I'll run them at approximately the same speed. The Dove's top speed is actually faster than this, so I'll run the Dove at about 80% and run this one at top speed, and that should give us a similar speed to compare. So I will be back with the Dove. Okay, so here we are. Here is the Dove at, let's put that at 80% of speed. Actually, what I was going to do to make it a fair test, I'm going to bring the yarn guides right to the front on both of them, so this is as balanced as it can possibly get. So that's going to be about 1400 RPM. Oh, see, that vibrated so much it moved the camera. So massive difference in terms of volume and smoothness. And the Dove is an exceptionally quiet e-spinner, but even compared to Electric Eel or Ashford e-spinners, this one is far, far, far noisier, far more vibratey. So I guess my final thoughts on the actual use of it, ignoring all the intellectual property issues, actually in use, once you can get over the fact that the listing is completely wrong, the orifice size is wrong, the max speed is wrong, the ZS direction switch is wrong, the speed dial is put in wonkily, it works. It makes yarn. It's the worst e-spinner I've ever used. I would absolutely not recommend you get one. But if you're lucky, you'll get one that works.